I hope you've now got your cup of coffee ready, maybe a biscuit or two, settling in for the OTT Coffee Break webinar. It's so lovely to have you here, and thank you very, very much for joining us. So today I'd like to introduce you to Sandra Kwan. She's from the Okinawa Convention and Visitors Bureau. And we also have Matt Spiller. He's the Trade Sales and Marketing Manager from InsideJapan. And we also have Nida Kapadia, and she's from OTT, and she'll be managing the chat today. So we're actually going to be going all through Okinawa and understanding a lot more about its history, its culture. And right behind the lovely Sandra, we have the most beautiful, tranquil, tropical, subtropical beach. But Okinawa is a lot more than just beaches, but beaches is just good enough at the moment, I think. And Matt is actually going to be talking to us about how we can actually integrate Okinawa into an itinerary plan for any customers that are going to be traveling to Japan, which I'm sure they will be during the course of this year. It's a really excellent destination. So over to you then, Sandra, to tell us a little bit more about the history of Okinawa.
Thank you very much, Julia. So Okinawa has a unique history. It was once an independent region, so from the Ryukyu Kingdom. After the World War II, the Battle of Okinawa, it was under the administration of the USA until 1972, when it was reverted to Japan. So there are lots of World Heritage Sites dating from the Ryukyu Kingdom on the main island, and a couple of recommendations would include Shojo Castle, located in Naha on the main island. It dates back to the Ryukyu Kingdom, so between the 15th to the 19th century. And this photo is of Shojo Castle Park. So for about 450 years, Shojo Castle was the centre of politics, diplomacy and culture of the Ryukyu Kingdom. In October 2019, it suffered a terrible fire when 9 structures were destroyed. Now, restoration work is underway and due to begin soon of the castle. So visitors can actually view the progress of this, which will actually be an attraction in itself. Another recommendation is Nakajinjo site, the castle ruins. It was the second largest castle behind Shojo Castle and is located in the northwestern part of the main island. Now, the grounds are also a great venue for a cherry blossom festival from late January to early February. So it's really well worth the visit. So I'm going to play a short video for you to sort of get a feel of the history of Okinawa.
Timeless Okinawa awaits. These islands, jewels spread across a deep blue sea, possessing a proud, unique and beautiful culture created by a fascinating, often turbulent history. Along the Ryukyu Kingdom, a link to the outside world quite different from mainland Japan. A story that still lives on among the Okinawan people. It all awaits, often unchanged, always alive, Okinawa.
So going into culture, karate is a unique part of Okinawan culture. The martial art was born in Okinawa and now practiced by more than 130 million enthusiasts around the world. So on the Okinawa Island alone, there are more than 400 dojos, which are rooms or halls that you practice in, and visitors can learn and take part in the karate experience. So visitors can take part in cooking experiences and really learn about Okinawan cuisine. Visitors can also experience traditional craft or textile dyeing and weaving and pottery. So you can really create your own special piece of traditional Okinawan art to take home. And there are exciting cultural events to be enjoyed, such as the Naha Hari, which is a festival usually held in May in Naha City. And it's one of Okinawa's most famous events with its colourful boat races. It is a marathon festival held to pray for the safety of fishermen and for bountiful catches. And then you've got Shojo Castle Festival, usually held at the end of October to early November. And this is one of the 3 major festivals of Naha. This festival highlights a parade by people wearing the clothing of the Yuku dynasty style. Now let's take a look at some of the cultural scenes of Okinawa.
Okinawa awaits. These islands, jewels spread across the deep blue sea. Once the Ryukyu Kingdom, long a special link with the outside world. This unique history has forged a distinctive culture, with music, dance, clothing, cuisine and nature worship very different from what you'll find elsewhere. A culture alive in the people of the islands. It all awaits, often unchanged, always alive, Okinawa.
So Okinawa is set to welcome 2 new craft-related facilities in 2022 on the main island. One is Kogeno Mori and the other is Sukara. They're both currently under construction and located in Naha. So both facilities will promote beautiful traditions handed down since the days of the Yuku Kingdom. So visitors will be more than welcome to visit these facilities when they're open. Some recommendations of other authentic experiences include playing the sanshin, which is a traditional 3-stringed instrument used in the royal court during the Yuku Kingdom, and the sanshin continues to be played widely throughout Okinawa. There is a sanshin experience for visitors called the Okinawa Traditional Lifestyle Experience. It's located at the native village of Motobu, which is in the mid-northern part of the main island. Travellers can enjoy an immersive sort of hands-on encounter with the sanshin, and also to meet with the elderly villagers there who very much welcome visitors and are happy to teach them to play the sanshin for free. Another experience can be to wear traditional Okinawan clothing. So in Naha, there's a studio called Veni with traditional attires called Yuso, and they're available for rental. So the clothing styles date back to the Yuku Kingdom and designed for Okinawa's subtropical climate. Visitors can hire these clothes and then they can choose a professional photography session, and the outfit can actually be leased for the rest of the day. Or visitors can simply hire the outfit for the day and explore the city wearing the traditional clothing. Now, cuisine is always a popular experience. Okinawa's food culture stretches back centuries to the Ryukyu Kingdom, and food is considered by locals in the prefecture as Cuisine, meaning medicine. So there is an authentic place to enjoy Ryukyu cuisine in Naha called the Ryukyu Cuisine Near. They serve the finest dishes enjoyed by Baron Shojo, who was the fourth son of the last king of the Ryukyu Kingdom, King Shotai. Visitors can also pre-book a Ryukyu arts performance as part of their dining experience when they go there. And there are also cooking classes to choose from, such as Matsumoto Cooking School, where you can learn about the delicious Okinawan flavors as well as learn how to cook them. And then one of the other cooking experiences available is with Yona Food, that includes a market tour, and then you can learn about the local produce available before you head back to a studio to learn, cook, and also enjoy a meal together. You can also learn and try traditional dyeing textiles. So Okinawa is home to a number of traditional crafts dating back to the Ryukyu Kingdom, including dyeing textiles and goods, and believed to have originated between the 14th and 15th centuries. Bingata is the collective term used to refer to Okinawan recess dyeing. Visitors can try their hand at a place called Shirayusen in Naha, which is well known for its use of coral dyeing techniques, which evolved independently from the traditional techniques of Bingata. So visitors can pick their favorite shape of coral fossil, and then they can place it under a t-shirt or wrapping cloth, in which the dye is rubbed to bring out the pattern of the coral. So there are many beautiful designs created this way. And then moving on to Shisa figures, also referred to as guardian lions, they are an iconic part of Okinawa's unique history and heritage. So visitors wanting to learn more about these popular talismans can join one of the Shisa making workshops available at Naha City Traditional Arts and Crafts Center, or alternatively, they can go to Yukumura or Okinawa World, which can both offer coloring experiences. So the latter is great for families traveling with children, as it is fun and also a great way to create original souvenirs to take home. So take a look at this video, which will give you more insight of Shisa, and this was actually filmed about a week ago. Shisa is a lion-like creature that originated from China and introduced to Okinawa centuries ago. It is believed to fend off evil spirits and can be found everywhere, from airports to restaurants to houses. Some look realistic and scary, and some are more artistic or humorous looking. In recent years, Shisa are often placed at the house gate in pairs, the male with its mouth open to scare away evil spirits, and the female with its mouth closed to keep the good fortune in. Although they are found everywhere, there are special Shisa of historical and cultural significance worth seeing. This is Tomori Stone Lion in the town of Yaese, about 30 minutes drive from Naha. The construction of the Shisa dates back to 1689. Around that time, the village of Tomori suffered from frequent fires. The famous feng shui master said that the fires were caused by evil spirits in the mountain, and advised the villagers to construct a stone Shisa at this location to guard the village against the evil spirits. Older Shisa, like this one, is often carved out of limestone because it was abundant and easy to carve. This Shisa was also made famous by a photo taken during the Battle of Okinawa. Unfortunately, this area was a heavy battleground during the war. Bullet holes seen in this photo are still visible after almost 80 years. Originally, Shisa was built to guard holy places and villages, but as time went by, it was placed at houses to guard against evil spirits coming into the home. This Shisa is made of plaster, and this type is commonly seen on the rooftop. When roof tiles are laid, plaster was used to set and secure the tiles. When the workmen finished the job, it became a common practice for them to make Shisa out of leftover plaster and broken pieces of roof tiles. The Shisa would be placed on the rooftop to be given as a gift to the house owner. Making use of limited material, this type of Shisa is often experimental and creative. The best place to see plaster Shisa would be Takatomi Island in the Yayama region, where there are plenty of old houses. Today, clay is the most popular material to make Shisa, and you will see infinite varieties of pottery Shisa. Now, this giant Shisa is placed at the entrance of the Tsuboya area, the centre of pottery production dating back to the time of the Ryukyu Kingdom. This is also a great place to find Shisa on the roof and the entrance to shops and houses. The main street is lined with pottery shops and workshops, but the back alley is equally interesting. Pottery pieces are embedded in the pavement, and miniature Shisa can be found in many locations. Even in the hedges, they watch over the passers-by. To people of Okinawa, Shisa means a lot of things. It is Okinawa's cultural icon, its heritage, wishes for peace and freedom of expression. By the way, it is the cherry blossom season in Okinawa. Here they bloom from late January to February, but cherry blossoms here are different from the ones you see in mainland Japan, where they are almost white in colour and fall to the ground like snow. Here in Okinawa, they are a little more resilient and vivid in colour against the blue skies. So please do get in touch with me if you would like more information on these authentic experiences. And these are just a taster of what you can experience in Okinawa for those who are culture seekers especially. But don't forget, Okinawa also has many more different types of experiences available outside of these authentic experiences. So you can check out for more information on the new Visit Okinawa Japan website, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram for interesting updates. Now finally, please do sign up for the Okinawa training course on OTT and be in with a chance to win our February prize, which is a pair of Shisa Awamori, which is the oldest distilled alcoholic drink in Japan. And to double that, jump onto the Japan Airlines course to win their February prize too. It's actually your last chance to win double prizes this month. So thank you very much for listening, everyone.
That was absolutely amazing. I mean, it's more than just a beach destination, isn't it, Sandra? I mean, just with the Shisa, the culture, and I love the idea that you can like dress up and you know, and kind of like really participate and wear appropriate clothing, because I'm sure, you know, the right kind of the weather out there needs the right kind of clothing. So yeah, thank you very, very much, Sandra, for that presentation. Very inspirational, and I'm sure, I know from the chat there's a lot of people already booking to go to Okinawa and keen to book their customers. So now really over to you, Matt, to hear more about how we can really bring that all together in the itineraries and really integrate Okinawa into the holiday experience.
Great. Yes. Well, thank you very much for having me. My name is Matt and I'm from Inside Japan Tours, the UK's leading Japan specialist. Now, I'm sure this is a common request you get from your clients for any destination. They want to do lots of sightseeing and culture, and then at the end of their trip, they want a few days to relax. And now Okinawa is the perfect place to relax at the end of any Japan trip. There are beaches on the mainland of Japan, but they're certainly not what I would recommend for a beach stay. So Okinawa is a great place to go and to recommend for your clients. Most customers will only have 2 weeks to spend in Japan, but you could spend 2 weeks alone exploring all of the different islands and culture of Okinawa. We'd love for lots of people to spend 2 weeks in Okinawa, but realistically, customers won't be able to spend that much time there. So I'm going to explain how you would fit it into a typical Japan trip. So what I would recommend starting off with is a golden route in Japan, which starts off with maybe 3 nights in Tokyo with bright lights, big city, 2 nights in Hakone National Park. So that's a national park near Mount Fuji, great views of Mount Fuji if the weather is clear, and an opportunity to stay in a traditional ryokan inn with hot springs. Then on the bullet train down to Kyoto for 3 nights, World Heritage shrines and temples and geisha, the real cultural heart of Japan. And from Kyoto, so this is called the Golden Route, then from Kyoto, you can transfer to Osaka Airport, about an hour and a half away from Kyoto, and fly down to the Okinawa Islands. And somebody asked in the chat box how long it takes to get down there. It depends what island you're staying on, but we'd recommend minimum 3 nights. You could spend 2 weeks, but minimum 3 nights in Okinawa. If you fly to Okinawa main island, that's 2.5 hours from Osaka Airport. And if you fly to Ishigaki in the Yayama Islands, that's 3 hours from Osaka Airport. So if your customers are tight on time, I would recommend heading straight to the Yayama Islands, which has Ishigaki, Iriomote, and Taketomi. These are smaller islands, lots of great beaches and a great place to relax and enjoy island life. If your customers have longer or are more interested in history and culture, then you could also include the Okinawa main island and the surrounding islands as well. But yeah, if you're tight on time, I'd say head straight to the Yayama Islands. If you've got longer, you could do island hopping around them all. So yeah, for a 2-week trip, 13 nights, I would recommend 1 night on the flight out to Japan, 3 nights Tokyo, 2 nights Hakone, 3 nights Kyoto, 3 nights on the Yayama Islands, and then 1 night you have to fly back to Tokyo at the end before taking your international flight back to the UK or wherever you're going. If you've got a bit longer to spend, I would then recommend maybe squeezing in 2 nights on Okinawa main island for all of the culture and history that Sandra just recommended. And there's also great beaches on the main island as well. So yeah, you can spend minimum 3 nights, 5 nights is better. 7 nights is great. 2 weeks is you get to see everything basically. So yeah, what we're finding with customers at the moment after the pandemic, customers are actually, instead of traveling for 2 weeks to Japan, want to spend 3 weeks in Japan, or they've got bigger budgets. So it's actually, Okinawa is becoming a more realistic option for lots of customers because customers are wanting to spend longer in Japan, and they then have more time to go around all of the different islands and experience everything that Okinawa has to offer. So yeah, it can fit in really easily to a standard trip to Japan. And that's it from me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Matt, and great to sort of see an itinerary sort of laid out as well. And did you say that it's 2.5 to 3 hours flight?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's quite some distance actually. They're really quite far sort of south.
They're actually, the Yayama Islands are actually closer to Taiwan than they are to mainland Japan. So they are quite far out, yeah.
It's an interesting fun fact because if I fly from Sydney to Auckland, that's literally 3.5 hours. So that's a whole other country.
Well, the culture is so different down there.
Yeah.
It does feel like you are going to a different country.
Yeah.
It is still Japan.
Oh, isn't it fascinating? I love it. It's absolutely on my bucket list. It really, really is. So thank you very much, both of you, for your interesting presentations. And now I know that a couple of questions have already arrived into the Q&A, which is great. Do add them into the chat. And Nida, do you want to let us know about the questions that are coming through from everybody?
Yes, I'm just going to put them up on the chat so that Sandra can answer them. That's from Vanessa.
Okay, do you want to read it out maybe, Nida, for the purpose of the recording particularly?
Yeah, what is the journey time from Kotio to Okinawa, please?
Matt, did you want to?
Yes, so that's what I just mentioned in the presentation. So from Kyoto, you'd have to get a train or private transfer to Osaka Airport, which takes about an hour and a half. And then from Osaka Airport, it's a 2.5 hour flight to Okinawa mainland with Naha Airport, or it's a 3-hour flight to Ishigaki in the Yayama Islands.
Okay, fabulous.
Okay, and the next question is, are there regular ferries from Yayama to Okinawa?
So I'd totally recommend flying to the Yayama region from the main island, just because it could take several hours to go by ferry. So flying from the main island from Naha straight to Ishigaki, which is like the port of call, basically the gateway to the Yayama region, will take about an hour on flight. So I would fully recommend that way of traveling there. So
yeah, those are the questions that I have.
Okay, so no more questions at the moment? No, great. Okay, so there is an email address that I think you might have seen on Matt's presentation. Certainly when we send you back the recording, if you wish to send it on to colleagues for sharing, we'd appreciate if you did that, but I'll also include Sandra's email too, if Sandra's happy with that.
sure.
So you can talk to them directly. So now we're going to conclude the webinar by thanking you very much for joining, and one of you is going to be lucky enough to win a prize. And Sandra, the prize is?
So for today's webinar, I'm delighted to present a gift all the way from Okinawa.
Wow.
I mentioned about bingata earlier. So what I have here is a beautiful and colourful bingata cloth that is framed, so it can be displayed in your home, just like the Okinawans do in their home. This gift will also come with a goodie bag as well. So
Lovely. How big is it, Sandra?
Oh, it's about, I think it's like 24 centimeters long. Yeah, it's quite a sort of like a smallish frame.
Smallish, so a bit bigger than A4, A3 maybe.
Yeah, roughly about that.
I'm no good on sizes. 24 inches, how much is that? But anyway, what a lovely gift, really, really thoughtful. And I love the course prizes as well. The Shisa, especially having sent the, run the explainer video. I'm looking forward to going to Okinawa just to have a look at all of those as you walk around. It's just such a fascinating place. Definitely. Great. So Nida, I know that you're going to spin the wheel and you're going to find out who the lucky winner is. So we'll just leave you to do that.
Wow. Congratulations to Andrea Antonini from Mickey Travel. You've won this wonderful prize. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so it just remains for me to say thank you very, very much for joining us on this coffee break webinar. All OTT webinars are now going to be around 20 minutes long, which is just enough for you to grab a nice cup of tea or coffee and a biscuit. And we look forward to bringing many more webinars to you as we go through the year. But today I particularly wish to thank Sandra and Matt on behalf of the Okinawa Visitors Bureau, and that are also for managing the chat as well, and all of you for listening. So thank you very much, and goodbye from all of us.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.